Hey there, fellow gamers. My name is Dennis, and today we're going to be talking about some solo board gaming. Now, we're going to talk about some of the games I have played very recently as a solo gamer, as well as some of the things I have on the docket to be playing as a solo mode, whether it's intentionally as a solo game or it has a solo mode component. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about first and foremost is I actually just recently got into solo gaming. As before that, I really just kind of saw board gaming hobby as a collaborative, cooperative, or even competitive style type of gaming and experience overall. And so it was actually very recently where I ended up picking up a game called Hercules and the 12 Labors, which is one of the top games I've obviously played solo because I've only had so many experiences thus far. And something about that game just really called out to me. Ended up getting it, and I played the game and was just amazed at the excitement level that I had for having played through it. And I actually ended up recording a whole playthrough series of it, which I'll have linked in the show notes down below, as well as any of the other playthroughs we talked about here and are available for you will all be down below. After having gone through a couple of those playthroughs, I was like, man, I wonder if there are other really fun solo games to be playing. And, you know, I look at this as, I think for me, growing up playing video games for a long time, I really enjoyed multiplayer games as well as solo player games. And so there was a great balance of having both options available for me. And for some reason, yeah, I think solo gaming just either had like some either negative connotation to it or just didn't feel like it was supposed to be as enjoyable as cooperative or, again, competitive board gaming can be. So for me, there was always that social aspect of playing board games. And don't get me wrong, I am still very much a person who enjoys playing board games with my friends. I have my friend Jesse here on the channel with me playing some board games. We have quite a few of them actually lined up for you guys as well too, because we just keep playing so many. We have like a whole day dedicated and we'll just run through so many board games. So that's not gonna stop for sure. But I also am really loving this whole addition to having solo mode or a game that is just straight up a one-player game. Again, just like Hercules was. So I was kind of almost put in a position to only play it on my own. And so I ended up also playing another game called Hobbit There and Back Again. So I actually have the cover right over here. And the reason I didn't actually show the case for Hercules and the 12 Labors was because when I was playing that game, I was starting to talk to some of my other board game friends, and one of them got so excited that he asked to borrow it. So now he's borrowing that game. And now I'm excited for him to be experiencing solo gaming because he also doesn't really do solo games on his own either. But going back to Hobbit There and Back. So this was the next game that I ended up playing solo mode with. And I got to admit, honestly, this one also is a really great solo mode. Now, the Hobbit There and Back is a 1 to 4 player game, where Hercules and the 12 Labors is a straight up solo game. Now, when I did get this, I did also have the intent of playing this with other players, and it's a roll and write. So I was trying to get into a little bit of that as well. And when I saw that this had the one player mode, I was like, ooh, I wonder if this will have a good story and be able to play it. And how does it play compared to, like, you know, multiple players versus solo? So I ended up doing a playthrough that I recorded here for the channel. And I actually loved it so much that I ended up recording part 2 almost like right away. And that was really, really cool. I was excited for it. It has a great little story to it. And it just felt really good to be able to play this on my own and also have the opportunity to experience this with other players. So it was really cool to have that nice balance. And also too, speaking of the Hobbit There and Back Again, I do have my entire playthrough series available for you too, which I'll have linked up in the show notes down below. I'm still actually going through this as I'm recording this episode. And so just something to keep in mind, not all the episodes are out just yet, but hopefully by the time you are going through the series, you'll be able to watch all of them as well. I'm having such a fun time with this game on the solo mode. Now, next up on this list of games that I have played in solo mode right now is going to be the Tiny Epic Defenders. Now, this is the second edition, and I have played this multiple times with my friends, but also I noticed that it was a solo mode game as well, or had a solo mode variant for this game. And what was interesting was after having played Hercules and the 12 Labors and kind of getting into the Hobbit, I was like, I wonder if I can, you know, enjoy this game as a solo game. And sure enough, I really did. Now, funny enough, I didn't end up recording a playthrough session of that one just yet. So now my intent is to go onto the table again with this and have it recorded so I can do a playthrough solo mode here for the channel. So other people who are maybe interested in this game and want to see it played solo will have it. And I know my friend Jesse is also going to want to play this as a 2-player cooperative version as well. So then we'll also link that up in the show notes once those are out. And if future editing Dennis can come back in here and make sure those are showing up, or you can even leave a comment down below when it comes to that. So that way we can have those linked up properly. Now, another game I played in the solo mode space here for us is going to be Propolis. Now, this is a bee worker placement type of game / also engine building. And this one is anywhere from 1 to 4 players. And then the 1 player mode is with the Autonoma. And I enjoyed this game overall. One, it looks just really pretty and cute. And I love that aesthetic to it. I would say that the solo mode wasn't the favorite out of all the ones that we had been talking about, but nonetheless, it was still one that I enjoyed because there are achievements in the game, and I thought that was really cool, so I want to go back and play it again. And I might change up the way the Automa works for myself, just so it could be a little bit more challenging and kind of force me to make different decisions as if I were playing with other players, because otherwise I can kind of manipulate the way the game played a little bit, and I didn't like that as much. I wanted to actually be a little bit challenged in the solo mode. Not for everybody, of course, but for me, I kind of wanted that experience. So like I mentioned, board gaming has definitely been something I've been doing for quite some time, but the solo mode has been something new in my little space here. And so I do still have quite a few games in my library that I'm going to be playing the solo modes for, as well as looking forward to games that are coming out or have been out for a little while now that either have that solo mode component or are just strictly single player. I also want to know from you, leave me a note in the comments down below. Are there going to be any solo games that you think I should give it a try, look up, kind of get an idea if this is maybe something I want to add into the collection, or even just give a try as far as playthroughs? Leave that in the comments down below. I'll definitely like to read them, especially if it's not going to be on the list of the games on the docket that we're going to be talking about here next. Now, really quick, while we are going through this list of games that I've played that are solo, as well as games that are going to be on the docket for solo modes, make sure you hit that like button on this video. It really helps us out. And then hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when new video playthroughs and videos like this come out. All right, so let's go over some of the games that I'm looking forward to when it comes to trying out the solo mode versions. Most of these I've actually played the multiplayer versions of, so I'll keep in mind which ones are kind of brand new entirely. So the first one on this list is going to be with Galactic Cruise. I actually have a game day coming up very soon where we're going to be playing it with multiple players. Well, I know it's also a single player game, but I haven't played either version of it just yet, but that one will for sure be on the docket. And the solo mode, I'll be able to record. The multiplayer one, I won't be able to do right away, but definitely know that Jesse and I will be planning on doing a playthrough recording of that sometime soon. Also, too, the games that we're going to be talking about here on this docket are not in any particular order that I'm planning on playing and recording. But if there's any of these that you are interested in seeing the most, let me know in the comments down below too. Maybe the ones with the most comments, I'll consider putting those out first, especially if nobody else is really having any solo playthroughs out for them. All right, so next up is going to be a Flamecraft, which I actually have over here on the side of me. And I have played that one with other players while never having done the solo mode, so I'll be excited to go ahead and experience that one. Now, next up is going to be Rise of Tribes, which is actually on the other side of me right over here. And this game is definitely quite underrated. It is generally a 2 to 4 player game, and there is an expansion. It's kind of like a separate solo expansion to be able to do this as a 1 player game. It looks freaking fantastic, I gotta admit. And I actually just ordered it. It's coming in today as I'm recording this, so I do plan on probably having this as one of the first playthroughs for the solo mode in this entire list, again, unless other people, request something else. But this game I'm excited for. I love the base game itself, especially with other players. So we'll see how this works out. And obviously stick around to make sure you're subscribed, so that way when I do get the playthrough out, you'll be notified when it comes out. All right, so next up on this list is Dwarf Romantic Sakura. This one I'm really excited for as well. This one just looks really cute across the board. It looks very cozy when it comes to a board game as well. And I love that there is a story kind of mission element to it as well. And that's kind of something I also loved with the Hobbit there and back. There were 8 different parts, and they were kind of broken up into sections that made it really easy to do short gameplays while still feeling like it's a very full game. Because sometimes that can be really daunting when a game can be, an hour and a half, and it could be a little overwhelming, where games like The Hobbit there and back and what I presume to be Dwarf Romantic might actually be a little bit more of a silo kind of mission, so that way it could be a little bit shorter, but then still feel pretty full because there's multiple missions to look forward to once the first one's complete. Now, next up on this list with the games on the docket, these ones are definitely very much more widely known as far as games go. So I'm not actually planning on doing these anytime very soon, but I will want to experience them because I have played them quite a bit when it comes to playing it with other players. But these are going to be River Valley Glassworks, Terraforming Mars, which obviously will be a much bigger setup for us, and then Wingspan as well, because that one does have a solo mode and I have never experienced it solo. So I'd be interested to see how that playthrough goes when it comes to trying it on my own. Now, I'm really excited to get a lot of these games onto the table, as well as looking forward to your recommendations in the comments on any games that have a really good solo mode or that are just straight up one player board games. I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna have a link for you in the show notes down below to any of the games we mentioned that do currently have a playthrough, either game or a full series. So that way you can check them out and go through those playthroughs with us. And what I'll also do too is toss up a video here on screen for you so you can actually check out some of these playthroughs and jump right into the action.